Hi, I'm Tim Pendergrass, and this next interview is Dennis DeYoung of Styx. I did this interview in 2002. I think it was March of 2002, up in Anaheim at a place called the Grove Theater, which was a cool place to see bands. Still is, actually. And I got to admit, this is one of the interviews that I was a little nervous doing. I don't know why he intimidated me, but it was just because I was such a huge Styx fan in high school. I'm from Michigan, Styx is from Chicago, so that between Styx and Journey and Foreigner, a few of those bands, they were like our biggies growing up. So all of a sudden I'm there with the man, Dennis DeYoung, and I felt a little intimidated. I don't even know why. It was strange, but you could tell he was very sarcastic in the interview, which was funny, and I think I would have had more fun if I was more relaxed and been able to pull punches back and forth with him. But I was just like, okay, tell me the next answer, please. That's kind of how I felt, but he had some great answers. Very nice guy, did a great concert that night. Enjoy. Dennis DeYoung of the band Styx.
Okay. All right, I'll lie. You just ask me questions and I'll lie. And then
Okay.
it's show business. That's the good thing about it. You can lie in publicity. Does it matter?
I don't lie, though. I'm honest. I'll be honest with you.
Well, you can exaggerate a little bit.
Yeah, so we...
Let's exaggerate it.
Okay, Dennis, what do you think you're best known for?
I don't think I've ever been asked that question. What am I best known for? Well, I mean, obviously, I think I'm best known for being the singer and the keyboard player in the rock group Styx. I think more than anything, that's what people know me as. Except for there's several Italian guys in the south side of Chicago that know I owe them money. So that's another story entirely.
And this current tour you're on, is this your first night?
No, actually, yeah.
Just tell me about the tour a little bit.
Well, we did, it's not really a tour per se. We're doing a series of shows. Right now there's about 20 of them, and they're scattered. For instance, last week we played in New Jersey at the Trump Marina, and we played up in upstate New York at a casino. And then we flew out here, and then we're going to be doing a couple shows in Hawaii. And then we're doing a show in Chicago. See, we're doing 4 shows this year with that configuration, the rock band, and a 40-piece symphony orchestra, which has orchestrations to these songs that you heard tonight. And what else? I have an accordion, and I'll stroll at your house for the right amount of money.
Everybody loves an accordion.
Everybody,
come on. It's a happy instrument. Who are your influences as a singer? I know she played the Jerry Lee Lewis song.
Yeah.
But you know, in the early 70s, I guess when you were just getting going, what was your big influence?
I think Ernest Borgnine and the Cowsills, both of them, they were a major influence on me, and I think hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds, maybe tens. The Roy Orbison, when I was first growing up, and Jerry Lee Lewis, I played Great Balls of Fire because it was the first record I ever bought was Great Balls of Fire. But I think, you know, the greatest influence on me would be the Beatles. You know, I saw them on Ed Sullivan in 1964, and at that moment, I saw that and I knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I immediately became a carpenter.
Over the years of touring, are there any interesting, like, wacky stories of maybe like you guys opened up for somebody weird or somebody weird opened up for you that's a little
Oh, yeah.
now?
We've opened up for a lot of strange things. One time we opened up for Stevie Wonder, and that was a strange thing for us, you know, Stevie's audience and us, and it was a tough sell, I must say. But we've opened up for strange things like Frank Zappa one time, and those, you know, and then we opened up for a lot of traditional bands that you would expect us to open up for from the 70s, you know, ZZ Top, Aerosmith, Kiss, bands like that. But you know, every once in a while you'll get that odd booking where you'll be in the middle of a blues festival and you have these, you know, these white guys singing high and running around the stage. So that was always a challenge.
I just have to say one thing. I have seen Styx since you were not with them, and
Yeah.
they're sadly missing you.
Well, thank you very much. And
it's just not the same.
well, you know, I think you can't. I don't think you can take an integral element out of any band and expect it to be the same. And whoever takes my place, whoever it is, that person is probably really good at being themselves. But you know, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's being me. You know, I can do that. You know what I mean? It's that I know how to do, and you know, but life goes on, and you know, I say sometimes in life, as you mature and get older, you have to. If you have a dream, sometimes your dreams need to shift. You know, if a certain dream isn't working for you, you have to let it go and try to get new dreams. And that's pretty much what I'm doing right now, is just going out and playing this music that I wrote and I sang, and having a lot of fun doing it. And you know, it's a joy it's a joy. Like tonight, for instance, you saw it. I mean, that was totally unexpected. Because I don't really have a history as a solo performer, but it's, you know, it's really remarkable to see the intensity of emotion about the music that was created. It really is a joy.
Great. I noticed tonight, too, you were playing a lot of Equinox. I mean, and that type of era that was right about when I started getting into you guys. I'm from right around the lake from Chicago and St. Joe, Benton Harbor.
Sure.
You know where that is?
Oh, absolutely.
There.
Mm-hmm.
And so we grew up with you guys.
It's toll number 2.
Yeah.
I think.
Or
It's Burns Harbor, then. No.
Yeah, Union Pier, and
Yeah.
you go up the way. But around the Equinox period and then Grand Illusion was like, boom.
Sure.
That's when at least we knew you guys hit. You know, Lady was like an off hit, and then all of a sudden, you know, you were there.
Yeah.
And then it was like a major deal.
It was major after the Grand Illusion, and then, you know, we had 4 consecutive triple platinum albums in a row. No one had ever done that. I don't know if anyone's done it since then. I'm sure they have. But it was it was a 7 to 10 year span there that, you know, Styx was, you know, they were as big as anything, and it was something else to be, you know, to have lived that, and I think the most important thing is, once again, is to see 25 years later how that music that was created still has great meaning, and it really has a vibrancy when you play it the right way. You know, people still love it. So you know, when we were doing it, there was no way I could have ever expected it to have lasted as long as it has already. So, you know, we were just scraping and fighting from day to day, trying to make it work.
Great. What do you think is the one, if you can think of one proud moment in your career up to this point, is there anything that singles out for you?
I think probably, I think the proudest thing is I can look back at the body of work that was created within the band and be proud of it. I mean, there's a couple of things that I'm glad no one remembers. But by and large, I'm proud to look at that body of work and say, yeah, you know, it doesn't sound dated in any real sense. And that it stood for something. You know, it touched emotions in people. It wasn't facile, I don't think. And people still have, you know, you saw them sing Best of Times tonight. Geez, it's like, you know, it has meaning to people. And that's just you know, it's really great to have that happen to me at this point in my life, for people to really, you know, say, hey, that stuff that you did was great.
Great. I would have loved to have seen you play piano tonight.
Yeah, I mean, people were calling for me to do it, but, you know, quite frankly, I'd have to practice. Who needs to do that? I like standing out front singing. Every once in a while I'll sit down and play a couple songs. But I like to sing, stand out front, you know, drink martinis, smoke cigarettes, that stuff.
You already did that one, okay. What is in the future for you?
Well, I've written a musical, you know, it was based on The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's funny that you mentioned me, you asked me a question a second ago, what the proudest moments. I mean, the creation of that musical is, in my mind, every bit as important to me as the work I did with Styx. And, you know, it's my hope that we'll be able to get it to the Broadway stage within the next 2 or 3 years.
Great. Here's kind of an off one, but have you ever been to a karaoke bar and freaked people out?
I thought about doing it. I really have. I said that would be a trip, and then people would. My greatest fear is that we go, that guy, he doesn't sound that good. The record's better. So who needs that?
It'd just be funny if you could sneak in where nobody knew who you were and either do someone else's song or Craig Evans go,
yeah.
Wait a minute. And could I get just a couple of comments on a few songs so I can lead into a little bit of performance?
Mm-hmm.
first off, Lady.
Right. I wrote Lady in 1972. It was the first song I ever wrote by myself, start to finish, that was recorded. I wrote it for my wife Suzanne about the first time we met, and it was a big hit. It was our first hit, and really allowed all this to have happened.
Great. Come Sail Away.
Come Sail Away was a song I'd written in 1977, and we'd played in Hawaii for our first time. Played the Crater Festival. I'd never been to Hawaii, and I was really taken with the beauty. And so the sailing aspect of the song was probably inspired by my trip to Hawaii. But really, it's a song about hope, and it's a song about carrying on in the face of adversity when things don't go the way you want them to go, and being able to somehow overcome it.
Great. And then Grand Illusion was awesome tonight.
Yeah, The Grand Illusion was the theme of the album, The Grand Illusion, which was my way of saying in 1977 to the audience, don't be fooled by the radio, the TV, and the magazines, because they're just creating images. They're fantasies. They're not real. They're illusions that are created for people's entertainment, but they're not to be taken at face value. And I was really talking about being a rock star, as well as things you see on TV and advertisement, things that, you know, in our culture. Recently, there's a great wake-up call in our culture about who really does the important jobs and who doesn't since September 11th. And actors, musicians, you know, they play. You know, so, and they're given an awful lot of credit, you know, for being smart when they're really not. They're just, you know, they're just kids who play, you know. So I think the events of the last 6 months have, you know, put things a little bit more clearer in perspective for people. And The Grand Illusion was my way of saying, you know, this is just an illusion we create for you. Don't buy into it too much.
Right. Like, oh, never mind. It's another story. I just got one last question, actually. I always like to find out what, you lived in Chicago during the heyday of Styx. Do you still live in that
Yes.
area?
Never moved.
During that era when, you know, say, Grand Illusion on, you know, what was the music scene like around in Chicago, or what was your life like around that area?
Well, I don't know what the music scene was like, because we were really involved in a national music scene at that point in our life. We were trying to create a national musical persona for ourselves, and so we were basically on the road all the time. I don't know what the music scene was like, because I wasn't home that much. I was either in the studio or making records or touring, and but you know, my wife and I have been married 32 years, and we have 2 children, and most of the time that I spent home was, you know, trying to be a father. My daughter, both my daughter and my son traveled with us when we were on the road. So when you came home, you just wanted to, you know, not be. That's why I never moved to California. I wanted to go someplace where I didn't have to be the guy in the band.
Okay. And I just thought of one other. You said it was the first time you kind of gone out and done solo performing. What does it feel like to be that rather than part of Styx?
Well, I played Pontius Pilate, you know, for 6 months in a Broadway musical, and did it in New York. So I have some reference what it's like. The songs are the songs. I sing them. I wrote them. People seem to like them, and it's, you know, like I said, it's a joy to stand on the stage and have the first few notes of a song play, and people just, you know, really appreciate it. And everybody should have a chance to feel that once in a while.
Great. Then just lastly, would you mind just doing straight to the lens, introducing yourself? And I play these on a lot of airlines, flight programs.
Sure.
And just kind of go, hi, I'm Dennis DeYoung, thanks for
Sure.
flying with me, or anything like that. Something like that.
Sure. Hi, I'm Sting, and I'd like to say, thank you very much. Hi, I'm Dennis DeYoung, and we would like to thank you for flying with us, and put on those headsets and listen to some of this music. It's pretty good.
Great. think that's it. Could you think of anything? What you got?
Can I just ask one?
Yeah.
Dennis, who is it that you're listening to these days, and who's fresh on the music scene that you have that you're excited about?
I like Barney. You know, it's my favorite color. And, you know, I don't listen anymore.
No?
No, not too much. I write, and, you know, I really don't, not like I used to. I don't listen in the same way I used to listen. Pretty much my opinions are formed. Any new bands that I hear, I mean, I hear songs once in a while that I think are terrific, but, you know, it really has been said an awful lot, this rock and roll. It's 50 some odd years, it's been said a lot. So, you know, I tend to be like all old farts. I'll go back and listen to the stuff that I liked when I was 17.
Yeah.
Good answer. How about, what are you getting for inspiration these days for your writing?
My accountant calls me and tells me that, you know, you need some money, partner, so you better get out there. And I don't know. I've just always been inspired by the chance to create something that would last beyond my lifetime. That's the greatest thing, is that you could write something that people in 50 years would listen to and still like. I think that's the best part about what I do.
Great.
Boy, good answer. Good interview.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.